Hey, what's going on, everyone? Dominic the Primetime Treasure Hunter here. It is a warm, muggy day here in central New York. As you can see, there's a little bit of rain, and there's some more scheduled for today. But rain is not going to get inside any estate sale houses, so there's at least 2 to check out. So let's get the ball rolling and find some treasures. Okay, weather is improving a bit here, and you can see a few people hanging out outside. It looks like it's that White House there on the corner that we need to get to there. So that's going to be where we'll be picking. So I head down the stairs to start off, but this time when I look straight across, I see this area cordoned off with yellow police tape, and unfortunately nothing in that area was available for sale. So I looked straight down to the right. I saw this remote control car starter, new in package, comps for around $30, so I put this in the box as my first pickup of the day. Then I saw this maxi rub massager, and I'm thinking, great, who doesn't need a good maxi rub massage at the end of a hard day's work? And I checked the comps and saw that some of these have sold for between $50 and $70. So I said, well, all I got to do is test it out, see if it works. Unfortunately, it did not. I tested it in multiple outlets, and it's a little tip. Sometimes you need to do that because sometimes if it's not working, the problem is actually with the outlet being dead, not with the item not working. This is a great company here, Stanley, great name in tools and hardware. These are door hinges. They come 2 per package. They comp for between $7 and $10 a piece. And I'm thinking, wow, this is a great score. Look at all these. They're new in package. There's a whole bag filled with them. I consolidated all of them into one bag. You could see it goes pretty deep. Unfortunately, when I tried to check out with these, I was unable to. It was the first of several bad things that happened to me today, and I'll explain what happened a little later. I did pick this up. It's a door lock installation kit, and so that's new in package, so good item there. This is another great item. It's called Root Blast, if you ever see it. It's a growth formula. I've seen these sell for $35 per container. Never saw it in the original box before with 2 containers, so should be able to get a good price on that. This is another as seen on TV item. It's a scratch repair kit. Again, never seen it in the original package. The product itself does sell, so should be able to do really well with that one. Give it the old double tap there. This here is something I really need, which is some smaller storage containers, so pick that up for a couple bucks. Just pointing this one out here. If you see a really good price on something, you got to check it out. Make sure there's nothing wrong there. You can see the tusk is broken off. So I left that behind. These lawn bags that look like pumpkins, great Halloween items right around the corner. So I picked that up. I'll sell all 3 at once. And this was cool. I like this. It's a nice 1980 shirt here, and it's got the froth popping out. Really cool. There you can see the year. This is just to show you an example of what the rooms look like. Pretty boring inside, but still a lot of good vintage items in there to pick through. There's a little sign here you're going to see on one of the cabinets which says you could get 2 free books with any purchase. So I picked this one up right here, America's Most Wanted Bird. That intrigued me. That one there sells for between $11 and $15. I was thinking of picking up this book over here on the joy of baldness, but I said, you know what? I don't need a book to have the joy of baldness, so I just left it behind. Then there was another reseller in there who was looking over this item, and he left it behind, and he walked out, and I said, why do you leave this behind? So I'm figuring it probably had something to do with batteries. And so first I wanted to open it up and take a look at it. And as you can see here, it looks like it's new, like it's never been used. So I look at the battery flap, and sure enough, it takes 4C batteries. Now, I have 4C batteries in the car. I have a couple of them, in my blue bag. But as a little tip, carry around a 12-volt connector here, because you could just plug it in right here to the side and then just plug it right into the wall.
and test it without the battery. So that's what I did right there. Just plugged it right in, and then just brought it right over here to the outlet and just plugged it in. And as you will see, it moves back and forth, no problem. And so this is an item that I wound up picking up. So, you got to have these little, tools handy sometimes to test these items out so you don't leave them behind. Now, I was just talking about making sure you're checking out drawers. Those are just some used candle holders, but look here. You might think, oh, it's just stationary, right? Nope. For some reason, someone put spark plugs in there, and those sell for like 23 bucks. So I picked those up. I wound up getting them for like $1. So I'm just going to open that up there just to show you what they look like inside. So again, make sure you are checking those drawers for sure. So just closed that one up, and then looked over here at this item, which is really cool. This old memo board display. I'm going to play it for you so you can hear the cool sounds this thing makes.
You look marvelous. So not bad overall. I wound up getting everything that you saw there minus the hardware door hinges in the beginning for $27. So, the issue with the hardware is that the people who were running the estate sale were actually house flippers. They purchased a house from a couple who built a home in Florida, and they just skedaddled out of here real fast and left everything behind, just like, fine, we'll just sell you the house plus the contents. So they're going to repair it, flip it, and there were a whole bunch of doors that were loose, and so they needed those hinges. Now, they should have put those door hinges in that cordoned off area in the beginning, and she apologized to me for leaving them all out there thinking that they were for sale, because in the average estate sale, those would be for sale. You'd be able to pick them up for cheap, and you'd be able to flip them and do really well. So that kind of hurts a little bit not being able to get that, but you have to have a short memory and reselling when not every single thing goes your way, and just move on to the next deal. So let's head on to the next sale. All right, here's the next estate sale. This one has been going on since yesterday, but I couldn't get out to any sales yesterday. So we'll see what's left in this one. Nice old area.
So I was kind of bummed out when I went in because there wasn't much available to look at. There was this garage which had absolutely nothing good inside of it. And then there was this kitchen area and just like 2 other rooms. So the kitchen, there wasn't much there, but sometimes my height helps me out. For those of you new to my channel, I am 6'6". So I could get up and access these items real easily. So this was actually behind that railing. I just pulled it up and over it. And you can see it's a bait and tackle shop. And in the back, you could see that it's a souvenir from Ogunquit, Maine. I hope I'm pronouncing that right, so let me know. But this is something that will easily sell. That's a popular area, and so collectibles and souvenirs from there sell well. So I'm going to clean that up. You just have to look past the dust. A lot of people look past VHS tapes, and you shouldn't. You should definitely check them out because there are some that sell well. Something I always look for are old wrestling tapes because there's a lot of wrestling fans out there that love this stuff, and many of these did not make it to a DVD transfer. So pick those 2 up, and then Dragon Ball Z is another one. Any Japanese anime type of stuff I look for as well, so I got all 3 of these.
Well, unfortunately, there wasn't much available to look at that sale. It was only the garage and a few rooms on the first floor. Nothing in the basement was available to look at, and nothing on the second floor. So, what are you going to do? And with that sale being open yesterday, that means a lot of people went through a limited amount of space. So I'm happy I found those things, and we're going to go on to the next sale. Okay, as you can tell, we are in a really old area of Syracuse now, and we're going to hit up an estate sale On the right here, I think it's in this red building here. Yeah, it is. So interesting. Look at the size of this building. I wonder if it's just part of the inside that's available with content for purchase, or if it's the whole place. So let's go in and take a look.
All right, so I walk up these creepy stairs with these dirty walls to the side, and that's already an initial clue of what I am about to see here. And as you can see, it's dark, it's dirty, and stuff is just scattered all over the place. And as I take a closer look at the items, it becomes readily apparent that this is just somebody who hoarded a bunch of really worthless stuff. I mean, it's hard for me, especially as the primetime treasure hunter, to go into a place and not be able to find something. But, you could see here an example of what I'm talking about. Just boxes and totes just filled with junk. I mean, just stuff you can't do anything with. I mean, you'd even have a hard time selling some of this stuff at a flea market. I mean, that's how bad that it was. So, I didn't want to give up. So I started to, look in different rooms. Now here I felt like I was in like South America or something, when you could like hop from building to building and stuff. So I look up and I'm like, hey, wait a minute. That looks like my basement. And I'm like, no, wait a minute. This is the attic area. So I'm like, do I dare go up there? So this person had, cats and all sorts of stuff. So you could imagine just what I'm about to come across here. This is the entryway to the attic. Now, you have to remember that it was pitch black in there. I'm going to light it up for you so you could see, but it was totally black in there. So without a flashlight on my phone, I couldn't see anything, but you could just see everything was just disgusting. And the smell, if I did not have a face mask on, there's no way I could have been in there without vomiting. That's how bad that it was. There were birds chirping in the background and stuff that had made nests in there. You had to be real careful in terms of where you were walking because it was possible you could have fallen through the floor. But I was hoping that maybe, just maybe, I would come across a box with old Star Wars items or something. But unfortunately, no matter what I looked in, there was just no such luck. Like, here's an example. Look at this. I'm like, oh, maybe there's an old book. Look at that. I mean, that's pretty much what everything was like. And you could see there's poop and stuff on things. So I had to really make sure when I got there, wash my hands and stuff. And you could just see the particles just in the air. I mean, it's just disgusting. So I was really trying, even with my mask on, not to breathe. I know I actually should have had a pair of gloves on, but I didn't have gloves at the time. But that is definitely something that you should keep in mind. I'm going to put a pair in my blue bag for now on, because this was just totally gross. So I'm like, I just got to get out of here. So I'm making my escape down the stairs, and I'm like, oh, I need to get some fresh air. Here we go. Fresh air at last.
Boy, that was rough. And I'll tell you, COVID-19 or not, you need to have a mask with you in case you encounter situations like that. There is no way of going through that without vomiting. I mean, that's how bad the smells were. And you're going to run into that sometime. So this really saves you in that type of situation. So once in a while, you get lucky in that kind of situation and find something like maybe some old vintage Star Wars toys or something. But boy, oh boy, there was nothing. This was purely a junk collector. So there's one more estate sale, and I'm going to go check that one out. There's no pictures. It's a one-level house from what I could see online. And all it says in the ad is that they're children trying to get rid of clear out stuff from their parents' home. So, usually that means good deals. But it's not in an area that I usually find stuff good. So we'll try. We'll see what happens. Can't be worse than this. So I'm almost there, and the advertisement online says estate sale, and the signs here on the road say garage sale. I wouldn't have driven out here for a garage sale, so let's see what this is, garage sale or estate sale. With my luck today, it's going to be a garage sale.
So it's a garage and estate sale. They took everything out of that one-level house and put it onto the driveway and in the garage. At first, I was worried that it was just going to be a bunch of worthless stuff again, But as I moved into the garage, I found a few pretty good things. This was awesome. All of these Anthony Robbins sets. So if you ever see those AR initials like that, look into it. He's better known as Tony Robbins now. So he is a very popular motivational speaker. People pay thousands of dollars to go to his lectures and his seminars and stuff. So they will definitely pay up for sets like this. So again, be sure that you check into these types of things if you ever see them. This was an awesome book. I love these vintage children's books. I've never seen this one before. It's a 1964 Cinderella and the Glass Slipper book. It's in terrific condition, so I'm excited about that. Now, this one might have been left behind because someone might have thought something was missing, but that's actually what the front looks like. It's called the Big School Book, and so it's actually supposed to look like that on the outside. So 50 cents a book. That was a great pickup. So this is everything in the box I've checked out already. So 50 cents a book, I was wondering, well, how much is all this Tony Robbins stuff going to cost? Because what I was thinking of doing is just, selling it as one big lot. Got everything there for $4. Amazing.
All right, well, this is going to be the last estate sale of the day now. This is in a newer development, as you can see, which is usually a bad sign. I always say to stick with the older homes. Once in a while, might pay off. So it's the last one, so we'll see what happens.
All right, I'll come in, but I'll regret doing so because this is the problem with so many new homes for estate sales is that people just haven't lived in them long enough to have acquired enough stuff. And whatever stuff is there is usually non-collectible, non-vintage stuff that just isn't worth getting. As you could see down in the basement, I mean, this is just terrible. There's just barely anything there. It's pretty bare. Most of the rooms were like that, so I just got out of there as soon as I could.
Okay, well, it's starting to rain, but this one looks pretty interesting. It's definitely the last one. I thought the last one was it, but it says that this is the estate of a 94-year-old man, and that age is pretty up there. So could be some good vintage things in there. So gonna go hit that up and see if we can find anything.
Oh boy, these people with these insane prices. I'll just show you two examples because this is what it was like everywhere. Yeah, okay, $150 and $70 for a vacuum, please.
For real. All right, folks, so there you have it. That is the dark side of estate sales. So while I do very well at estate sales, sometimes, you run into these situations where, items are, significantly overpriced and just not realistic at all. Sometimes you run into these situations where whole sections of the house have been cordoned off. So you only have, a little bit to go to. And if you go the following day after it's been picked through, then it's hard to find some things, especially, if it's a very small confined area. Sometimes you wind up in these hoarder type of houses where, it's just really bad in terms of the smells and in terms of the quality of the stuff that's there. You could find yourself in these really kind of, literally dark areas where, you really got to watch your step in terms of the boards that you're walking on and stuff because they could be unstable. So you've got to be really careful. You don't have to worry about that really at a garage sale where you're walking on a driveway. Other things that could arise could be, like the first estate sale where, because it's not a professional company running it, they didn't properly process the items. And so as a result, there's all this stuff, all the Stanley stuff that I found in the beginning that I thought I would be able to do well on. And turns out I wasn't able to get it because they needed it for the house and they just didn't process it properly. So, all sorts of things that can happen. Don't get me wrong. I'm not discouraging anyone from going to estate sales, but I just want to show you that there's another side to it. It's not all, that you just could always show up and just make these huge scores. So, things happen here just like they can happen in any other sale, but I just want to make sure that you're aware of that, especially if you're new to the channel. But, I think next week, some of the regular dealers who I normally go to will start, having some more sales again. That was part of the problem today is that normally when I film estate sale videos, It's me going to estate sale dealers who I have a relationship with already, established for years. So, you know, I know the types of places they tend to go to. And, you know, I could just, you know, have a really good sense from looking at the pictures online, you know, whether or not it's going to be something good or it's going to be something I might want to stay away from. And I also know what estate sale dealers around here are the ones I should stay away from because they're just, you know, totally overpriced, just like the sale that we just saw here. So anyway, that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you liked it, please give the video a like, a big thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you come by to my Facebook group, the Facebook Reselling Resource Center, and follow me on Instagram at prime_time_treasure. I'll see you back in the next video, everyone. Take care. You get that squirrel, Daisy. That's right. You get that squirrel. You tell him to get away from here. That's right. No comic books for that squirrel. Get him out of there. Get him out of there, Daisy.